This is for working families. The best governor candidate for November is before you. I am Mark Stewart, candidate for governor 2018, start January 2019. I look forward to helping working families, and I'm a better candidate than any mainstream Democrat that party will nominate. Look, that party's my party. I'm still a registered Democrat. But I am disappointed. I call myself an IED, increasingly embarrassed Democrat, because our leaders have not been out for working families. Instead, they tend to do things that big companies like. They tend to tie government to make it bigger and bigger and more influenceable by larger lobbying companies, and that leaves out smaller companies, and it totally leaves out employee groups working for them or working on their own. Let me ask any working family member, what has the Democrat Party leadership in this state done in the last decade, say, for workplace safety? Have they helped any more than private efforts on their own? What have they done to raise your pay? What will this candidate do? A Governor Mark Stewart makes businesses more profitable so that you can profit from your work. I cut down the number of regulations that are clearly restricting businesses. I open up more opportunities to other states for the people that you work for. Of course you're going to see higher take-home pay. But let's take government action that makes sure your take-home pay is higher, even if your company doesn't prosper. You get to stop paying these taxes that suck money away month after month. This is the candidate that lets you extricate from Medicare, okay? By the time you're 68 years old, you're probably not going to see a very good Medicare benefit anyway. You're out right now, okay? You want to withhold, it's 2.9%, done. 2.9% on the employer side, which I give your employers. We're up to 5.8% back on your paycheck. Add Social Security. I don't trust Social Security. You shouldn't. Okay? We can't even keep cities afloat. How do you think that the federal government, which is so deep in debt in Social Security, can really honor its benefits? It can't. It will be means tested. All right? If you end up being impoverished at age 68, maybe you'll see some scraps for the government. Maybe you'll see some third world health care. Instead, save for yourselves. Take that 7.3%. By the way, that doubles with the employer share take. 2. You get back 7.3% or more. Save it. Earn money from it. That's called investing. And still have a nice nest egg so that when you turn 68 or maybe even 62, old-fashioned way that can't last, then you will have provided for yourself. Means testing is on the horizon. It's inevitable because our federal government is $87 trillion in debt. Don't use the 21 trillion figure. 87 trillion is really the liabilities that we have obligated ourselves to. Governor Stewart in Connecticut says, you don't want to pay for that and don't expect to get anything, okay? Don't. You're out. A working family with 7 to 15% more in their paycheck saves for retirement in the future, maybe builds up for a mortgage earlier on, maybe sends kids to an even better private school than they can afford right now. Our state has way too high taxes. The current Democrats, really the last 30 years of Democrats, have not aided that, have they? Have they helped your schools greatly? No, Governor Stewart would. Choice in schools lets you move from a bad school to a good, even across districts. Family means you want better for your kids. The leading Democrats have done so at best incrementally. You'll see this in 9 months. September of 2019, you will have choice in schools if I'm occupying the governor's chair. Finally, the working family really can't trust a mainstream Democrat because they're so tied in with interests that are not going to be able to change. Ned Lamont's a likable guy, but his friends in Greenwich run things for the benefit of better positioned people. Positioned within the state, there's some very cushy jobs that they protect. I'll make a note because there is something called the Working Families Party in Connecticut. You should be voting for me. Okay? You should. Their line should go to me, but even if they've nominated somebody else, please remember that a candidate who is for small business, a candidate who is not for somebody taking welfare over and over when they don't want to work, is more for working parties and working families than anyone else on the roster. Please, this candidate for minimal government means you, as actually diligent workers, are way better off. You are more productive at work. If your job is stultifying, you have the ability now to be in business for yourself. You'll save more, you'll live better, you'll be in more control of your financial life. Working families, please consider me, Mark Stewart, at stewartforliberty.com.